Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Blood, Sweat, and Fears podcast. It is Christmas time, finally, and we're going to get into some really funny Christmas horror today. Alan, you're back. You survived the Rona, but barely. It's gone straight to your voice. How are you doing, buddy?
I got COVID, then I was fine, and then I caught the flu, and then I was fine, and then yesterday I stopped being able to speak, and now I can't do my Pingu impression.
It's a sad day when you can't do your Pingu impression. I think that's very homophobic of illnesses, taking the voice away from a gay man.
Do you want me to try?
You might kill your voice, and we do have an hour to get. Jeez.
See,
Pingo's been on the fucking fags, man. Jesus.
Hey, that's homophobic. Ping-gay.
Fucking hell. And joining us today, we're finally completing the quadro of, I don't even know if that's a word, but I'm making it a word now, of the OG folk who I came up with coming up on the pod. Please welcome Jack Traynor. How you doing, pal?
What's happening, mate? Thanks for having us.
You're also looking fantastic. Your mullet's getting longer. It's have you not had a haircut in fucking ages?
No, mate, that's what I'm saying. Like, I got told I couldn't cut it, so I just went, okay, I'll just keep growing it out then.
That's such a lovely intro. Welcome to the podcast. So you're poorly groomed.
It's a Sunday, man.
Well, you know what? Jack's made loads of cracks about my hairdos over the last 2 years, so it's just me getting my own back.
100%. That's the last person I could have a go at for winding me up about my hair. You get the pass.
Yeah, well, the weird hair pass. And as both stars of the BBC, it's great to be talking about a movie from 1984. I don't remember George Orwell writing about Gremlins in his famous book when they would take over the world, but I'm here for it.
I've also been on the BBC.
Really? Fuck, of course you have. That went over my head for a minute, and I was like, oh, for fuck's sake.
He's made up the illness thing. That's why he's got a sword for it.
Yeah, it's a shame my voice is sick. I had a great intro for you. I was going to be like, Jack Traynor, barely know her.
But you've been saying that for like everything with an ER at the end of it. Like,
no, it's not. That would be predictable in hockey.
Yeah, it's also we're celebrating Christmas by talking about Gremlins, one of my favorite Christmas movies. Generally one that I watch every year. We're also celebrating with some bougie chocolates. I mean, I'm celebrating with bougie chocolates because none of you cunts wanted any. So,
are you getting paid for that?
No, I went Christmas shopping for my mum today and picked her up some bougie chocolates from Hotel Chocolat and saw these and I thought, fuck yes. Coffee flavoured chocolate is very much a Dean T. Byrne thing, and now that we've been on the BBC, you know, the fame's getting to my head a little bit.
Oh, mate, you've been terrible since you've been on that BBC, man. Have you seen him, Alan? He'll just walk into like open mic nights and be like, where the fuck is my latte? Starts snapping his fingers at people and gets like lower. He gets open micers to tie his shoes and stuff. He's a fucking monster now.
I fucking need it. I can't tie my shoes for shit. Like you can't see that on the camera, but I have to tuck my laces into my shoes.
Why did you start this shoe thing where you have the tongue exposed on one but not on the other?
It's, you know what, it's a choice and I'm sticking with it. That's how I did it in the 2000s. Not because I was a skater kid, but because I didn't know how to wear shoes properly.
I was the same, man. I was Velcro till I was about 22.
Oh, I still can't understand Velcro. It freaks me out. The texture of Velcro is just too much.
Is that an autism thing?
I don't know, maybe.
See, I don't like polystyrene. When I got assessed for autism, I put that, it freaks me out.
Why?
I don't know. It just gives me the shivers.
No, I know what you mean, man. It's like when it all breaks away and shit like that. It's horrible.
It's horrible. It's like nails on a chalkboard.
This is just going to be an autism awareness script, man. We're not even going to talk about the film here. I'd be like, I hate Will and the jagginess of a label.
They said I was too friendly to be autistic, remember?
Yeah. So, which I don't get because I'm autistic and I'm very friendly.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. Talking at their arses.
Humble brag.
Yeah, but there's no way that you would have went undetected, man. Come on. Billy the Blind Man can see that there's a lot of autism in this room and I think we're carrying it.
I actually blame part of the way I am because I watched this movie for the first time when I was about 7 years old, thinking it was just a nice, cute little story about gremlins. I was not prepared for the absolute fucking carnage that happens like later on. So, did you ever watch Gremlins when you were a kid?
I watched it as a kid. I don't fucking remember it.
Well, you remember it now.
I remember thinking he was very cute, and I remember that his mouth kind of freaked me out.
He looks like he's on Eckies. See, sweet. No, honest, I don't know if it's. I'm not sure what it is. Like, was it robotics?
Animatronics,
right? So, like, see when he's sitting down and playing the piano with Gizmo right at the start, his jaw's proper swinging, man. Like, you could take him out and just dump him into Sub Club of the Arches, and he would just go like, you wouldn't notice. All he's missing's like a fist pump now, yeah. But it is quite cruel because if he is on Eckies, then he's not allowed a bottle of water if it's past 12 o'clock.
Yeah, the whole rules of the Gremlins thing. I mean, it's been joked about to loads. Like, don't leave them out of sunlight. Fair enough. You know, they're covered in fur. That'll probably make them sweat a lot. Keep them out of water. They multiply. But they're not feeding after midnight. But we were talking about this last night, and the only way that you could really get past the not feeding after midnight rule would be if you either starved the Gremlins or just fed them for that 1 minute between midnight and one past midnight.
I know. They sound like they mad gym helmets that tell you you're only allowed to eat at 4 in the morning and all that, and fucking you need to get up and.
Is that no Ramadan?
No. Like you've seen the mad gym cunts, haven't you? I've up at 4 in the morning,
on Instagram,
eating fucking.
yes.
Yeah, he does a podcast here.
And by the time this is out, my episode of The Fatherless will be out as well. So shout out, Sean.
Oh. No. I was going to ask, is that a prerequisite not to have a dad to be on that?
I don't think so, but
That's good. That's very inclusive of you, Sean.
That's the first time Sean's been called inclusive. he's just threw his phone at the telly there. How dare you, Alan? I love Sean, man. He's a great guy.
Does Gizmo's eating account for time zones?
I don't know. The time zones fucks up the rules completely.
If you take him to Tokyo, do you have to only feed him at 7 a.m?
What if the clocks go back? This is the second time I've been in this room talking about the clocks going back. What happens then? Like, is he allowed to then no eat and then eat and all that? Like,
nah.
What time is he allowed to eat from?
Well, there's an animated series called Gremlins: Secrets of the Mogwai that came out this year that I haven't watched, but I believe delves into the origins of the Gremlins. They are from China somehow.
Shocking.
Why is it shocking, Alan?
Because everything dangerous is made in China.
Because most things in the world are made in China. So
that's true.
Oh, I thought you were going to say something there.
No, I was wondering if there was a porno version of this.
Oh, there's got to be.
Like just a really slutty Gizmo, like, oh no, you've gotten me wet.
What do you think gremlin pussy's even like?
Probably looks like Gizmo's myth. I think that's why it freaks me out.
Oh man. Oh, that's gonna. I'm gonna have a hard time getting that out of my fucking mind tonight, Alan. Thank you very much.
Well, I can't do my Gizmo, but you can just imagine open up like, oh.
Yeah, the Gizmo voice is really cool. Like, I was surprised it was Howie Mandel that voiced him, because like I've only seen him on podcast clips, looking like a sort of diet Joe Rogan a little bit.
That's got to be the easiest gig, that, man.
Nah, you just show up and you're like, "Hi, my name's Gizmo," and then leave.
Sorted.
That was more like Mickey Mouse than Gizmo. But like...
I'm so distraught. I can't do my Pingu impression.
That's why I've been brought in.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Can you do a Pingu one?
I've not seen it, and so Paul's just peeked behind the curtain. Wait. Aye.
Shut up.
Oh, shut up! Feel there's a gun in my head now to do this Pingu impression. Can I get
He goes nut nut, but like in a really no, but like really passionate. Like no.
I feel like I'm watching the Gremlins porno now with
You're
you
a voice
two.
actor.
Like,
you know why are you just letting us hang ourselves?
Because I'm letting the fame get to my head. I'm making comedians do voice acting for me. Well, yeah, I'll give it a go. Fuck it. So it's nut nut, right?
Yeah, nut nut.
Nut nut. How's that?
Yeah.
Do it again.
Nut nut.
That's pretty
Who's
good.
there?
Fuck.
Pingu away.
One of the things that I really love about this is see when you get a character actor in a movie like this where they're clearly designed for you to hate them. Mrs. Deagle, oh my fucking god! Like, credit to Polly Holiday. Like, you absolutely despise this guy. And every Christmas story needs a Scrooge archetype, but fuck me, was she hamming it up in some of those early scenes.
Yeah, her character didn't go where I expected. I thought she was going to discover the joy of Christmas, and she just died.
Her death scene's amazing, man.
Oh, it's got to be. I mean, we're kind of. I don't care because we're jumping ahead to a little bit of favorite kill, but I feel like that's got to definitely be a contender for best kill.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or the bit where is it Stripe tries to Jeffrey Epstein the guy's dog and make it look like it's hung itself. That could have been it. That could have been the stair lift through the window takes the cake, man. That was incredible.
I forgot about the dog. I was trying to think, when did Stripe try to shag Wayne?
Did he?
No.
Oh, thank fuck! I thought I was like missing something in the
No,
movie.
he just overseen it and like.
I mean, with that mohawk, man. I mean, this coming out in the actually, Kirsty said this as well, which I'd never thought about. Is Stripe having a mohawk and looking the way he does sort of an 80s capitalism thing of like going up against punks, like making punks the villains?
There was definitely that sort of like anti-communist undertone of these sort of this band sort of grouping together and coming over and from China and destroying America and all that. Like it did have that the typical sort of 70s, 80s American films fiend that then moved on to then be like, oh, we're Middle Eastern guys are the baddies now. Just before then, when it was all Eastern Europeans that were bad people in films.
And it's kind of swapped back now. I've seen a lot of Russian villains in a lot of action movies lately.
Wonder why.
I know why. Because their accent's fucking good for Bond villains, I guess. But
There was a controversy after the Russian war because the Glasgow Film Festival were supposed to show a Russian film for the opening of Fright Fest, and then they pulled it because of the war, and it got a lot of controversy. Showed this mad shite Zoom film instead. It was terrible.
a Zoom film.
Yeah, like one of those horror films.
That's a stand up. That's a stand up from like Zoom gigs. Like Zoom gigs were terrible. Like,
Did you do any?
I did one for the So You Think You're Funny Heat, and I had to put my laptop on an ironing board, and that nothing will humble you more than having to perform your set like that.
Yeah,
I had my notes for my set just tucked underneath my laptop.
Fuck, imagine bombing in your own kitchen. That would be fucking devastating.
I mean, with the inventions that fucking Billy's dad is making, they're probably bombing in that kitchen.
Mate, they were so... That guy, his dad's just a pure stoner engineer, isn't he? He's like, well, I'm just fucking brush my teeth and comb my face at the same time, and like the stuff that... Everything's for like making food or making his life easier and all that. The thing that cracks the eggs, did you mind that?
Yeah, that was fucking weird.
That was so cool, man.
Like, just crack it on the side of a bowl, you fucking idiot, man. Like,
by the way, how juicy were fucking oranges in the 80s? He puts one orange in the juicer and it just fucking floods the whole house.
it's just that capitalism thing. They had to have more juice in their oranges. Yeah.
I feel like you've tried to invent something like that in your life.
No, the only thing I tried to invent when I was young was I tried to invent a grappling hook out of 4 forks that I'd bent into a grappling hook and then tied to a bit of string. I was not able to climb the wall after using it. But it did attach onto the roof, but I couldn't climb it very well.
Oh,
Why? What were you trying to escape?
The foster home.
Oh, it's gone. It was funny and then it got sad. I kind of thought that. That's why I sort of probed the question.
I was just training for the day I eventually get cast as young James Bond.
Right. Dean doing a fucking Shawshank. Trying to tunnel his way out because he can't stand another game of Monopoly.
I can help you with that. I'm great at tunneling through a mud pipe.
Oh, for fuck's sake, Alan. You know what? When I had Darren on for the last episode, not going to lie, I did miss some of your little puns and dirty jokes
Does
on here.
Darren not do enough anal?
No, he doesn't. Darren Connell,
Darren.
you got to do more anal, mate.
There's one for the out of context account.
Dean's leaving feedback. Good stage present, more anal.
Hey, the stand, I'm available for hiring.
I'm there on Tuesday. I'm very concerned about this.
Oh, you'll be fine, man.
What if I can't speak?
You'll just need to do some sort of slapstick fucking character act with like
Not a
props and
novelty
all that.
act.
Yeah, go up there and be a gremlin. Be like Stripe.
Troll.
You've already got kind of got the Stripe hair going on.
Yeah, I'm going with something different. I don't know how it looks.
I'm digging it.
Yeah,
Thank
it works. Yeah, it's kind of like, business in the front, party in the back kind of thing, but with highlights.
Party in the back, you say?
Yeah, I know that's what they say for mullets, but I'm applying it to Alan's hair as well.
Oh, thank you, Dean.
You should get a mullet, actually.
No.
Aye.
Yeah.
No, I hate having my head goes all poofy. No, like my head goes out that way instead of like going down.
Yeah,
Aye.
so does mine when it got long originally, but you just got to be patient and then you'll have these beautiful glowing locks.
How long have you had long hair?
About 3 years.
Have you seen Dean with short hair?
I have.
It's amazing. He's got one of my favourite photos ever is for Dean's prom over in Dubai, and he's got short hair and a suit on. He looks like a disgraced Israeli PM. His skin's all sun-kissed for like that part of the world. It's beautiful, man.
Paul, I'm going to send you the photo of it. We're going to just pop it up during the episode.
I remember seeing that and I was like, is Dean white?
Mate, all the melanin that I had from growing up in Dubai disappeared as soon as I moved back to Scotland and just spent all my time in the house.
No, I hated it, man. I burned like fuck. I just go red. Because my mum was ginger. So I've got like, my dad wasn't though, so I have like the weaknesses of a ginger.
Oh, aye.
Jack, what are the weaknesses of a ginger?
Lack of friends is just any sort of support group around you. Aye, that burning, man. I mean, I get sunburnt the October week once. I was kind of proud how shit my skin was. I didn't go on holiday or anything like that. It was just like, it was burnt. Getting burnt, not having a soul, and then getting compared to other ginger people.
Yeah, man, you get compared to fucking Damian Lewis all the fucking time, man.
Constantly, man. No, the one that I do like is the wee boy at I've just blanked on every name of every film.
The Laboratory.
Terminator.
John Connor.
I don't know, but there's a wee ginger boy with a mullet that points the police in the opposite direction.
Oh, yeah,
like,
John Connor's wee mate. Yeah, I mean, Kai put up a tweet of that saying it was like,
Oh, I got it from that. That used to be Ron Weasley, but there's been a real sort of like shift.
I've not
socially,
seen...
it's now Ed Sheeran. He's sort of carrying the torch of guy with long ginger hair.
He's been doing it for 10 years, though. Like, he must be tired of it. Like, get another fucking ginger guy. Actually, Jack, that's why you've been put up the stratosphere so fucking quickly.
No, when I get to the top, I'm shaving all off.
Well, you're pulling a Britney.
No, I'm pulling a I've not written a Fringe show and need to pretend I'm terminal. That's what I'm pulling. Game's a game, man. I'll do anything for 5 stars.
40 minutes, sad bit. Can't wait to see it. Because you do have like 40 minutes of material written up, don't you?
Oh, God, no. I've got 20 minutes of solid material and then 20 minutes of just waffling shit.
I did my first 20 minutes a few weeks ago and oh my God, some it was weak.
Aye, mate.
It was in front of a Cocaine Anonymous meeting as well and I didn't know what it was going to be.
I love these sober gigs and stuff like that. Amazing.
Was that the gig that you did where Alan Anderson was there?
No. That was for a child's rugby team. I thought it was called GHA, so I thought it was going to be Glasgow Housing Association. Then I get them, it's Glasgow's Hutchisons, Aloysians. Like, oh, how posh. There were some very disgusted faces in the crowd, but
the rugby lads would have loved your pissing in the mouth material. Except from theirs would have been about initiations and yours would have been about your weekend.
Yep. I was great at water sports before I could even swim.
Bringing it right back to don't let the gremlins get wet, because there's also something I love in this besides just the whole all the practical effects they do with the gremlins. I really appreciate, because I know if this was made today it would all be CGI. They would all look like the minions that you see at the end of every Avengers movie, just looking like muddy grey water. And the fact that they all have like slightly different looks as well, it just adds a little bit to the fear factor. They start off a little bit cute and then they just grow into these fucking mosher monsters. Like, I'd expect to see them at fucking Cat House if they weren't in this movie.
Are they not making a third one?
There's been rumors of a third one for years, like probably for as long as I've been aware of Gremlins, but
Gremlin 3 Tokyo Drift.
But no, they have an animated series out. They have Gremlins 2, which is a fucking Looney Tune. Have either of you seen the sequel to this?
No.
Oh, mate.
I remember the drag queen.
Yeah, there's a drag queen gremlin in it. There's
Is the second one a Christmas film as well?
I don't think so. It's I haven't seen it in ages, but it's just like the only way Joe Dante would direct the sequel would be if they just let him go absolutely mental with it. So you get like scientist gremlins, electric gremlins, Batman gremlins, and they're just making fun of Hollywood for the entire movie. It's quite fun.
That sounds decent.
Yeah, it's not like this.
Watch that tonight.
Yeah, because this one's like more of a straight up horror film with a little bit of a Christmassy vibe to it, whereas that one's a straight up Looney Tune. I did actually write a pitch for a Gremlins 3 when I was very young.
We've got to hear that.
So the idea would be that there would be this one guy who's keeping a Gizmo-esque gremlin just in his basement, and he's started up a business selling them, and you just go down and it's like fucking Guantanamo Bay in his basement. He's just constantly getting the gremlins wet, just building them. Eventually the gremlins all escape, and the twist for it was, I wrote this when the found footage era was very popular in horror. So he's just filming all the gremlins with like fucking Blair Witch cameras and shit. And then the third act, the gremlins get a hold of the camera. And it's just like a complete ride through the city with the gremlins doing like TikTok selfies and shit.
That's a good idea. I'd watch that.
Yeah, the script I wrote for it was fucking awful because I was 13 and trying to be dark and edgy, but...
No, fair bad. I could never have wrote a script when I was 13, man.
I had a lot of time on my fucking hands.
I just told you I never knew how to use shoelaces till I was about 20, man. Writing a script, that's heavy going.
Oh, I still didn't. I was just like, well, I can't tie my shoes, but see my ideas for scripts, they're fucking class.
You can tie your shoelaces till you were 20?
No, but that's an exaggeration. I was in Velcro till I was about high school, but aye.
Oh, I couldn't tie my shoelaces till I was 18.
Aye.
Yeah, you know. And I was in a hotel. It took me going to a hotel just all by myself and being like, I'm going to figure this out.
Just like watching YouTube tutorials, like when they had to tie wins or not.
I would have loved to have been that hotel of you checking in, just the guy down at the front desk and you're going up there to kill yourself. So you've just got meters of shoelaces.
I've seen shoelaces used for worse.
Oh, God. Alan, I'm curious. You do a lot of dirty jokes and stuff, right?
I was talking about my mum's heroin use, but where did you go on it?
Well, just go with me on this.
Okay.
If a gremlin was of age, would you shag a gremlin?
No, I'm not a furry. But everyone seems to think
they're not furries, though. Like, they're clearly leathery when they're like in their evil form. They don't have any
that's
fur on
somehow
them.
worse. Oh,
Nothing wrong with a bit of leather.
Oh, okay, you've won me over. Would I fuck a gremlin that was of age? No. See, I've thought about a lot of dirty things, but I don't think I could be a furry, man. Once you've had a wank to the Cocoa Pops monkey, there is no going back for you. It's Tony the Tiger they go for, but that's the thing. I know if I was a furry, it would be the Cocoa Pops monkey.
See, if you fuck Tony the Tiger, does he say that was great afterwards?
You would go for that over a four-way with Snap, Crackle and Pop.
Jack, I take it you would fuck a gremlin if given the chance?
No, absolutely not. They're far too childlike, and I've got a reputation as a comedian to keep up. You're not getting me with that one. I was waiting for you would shag a gremlin. Boom, they're 14. Get 'em. Dean tried to set me up to get more opportunities, man.
I want that role on the Scots, mate. It'll just be the same character you played, but it's just me and no one addresses it. Jack's gone to the fucking polo lounge one time and suddenly he looks like this.
You'd have to schedule your shagging if you were dating a gremlin. They're not allowed to swallow after midnight.
You can't get them wet either.
Or maybe you can get me wet and you'll meet my sisters.
I've also seen some mad Santa stories in my time, and it was quite sad, but I couldn't stop laughing at the wee lassie's traumatization with Santa.
What the fuck was that about?
That was mental. They just threw that in.
It's like, my dad was climbing down the chimney, broke his neck and suffocated in the chimney. And that's when I knew Santa wasn't real.
Apparently done that every year. If he does that every year, why did them all go, he's probably stuck in the chimney with that thing he does every year. Just rotting halfway up the chimney. And then it was like, we never realised a few days later till we lit a fire. They were just sitting there freezing then. What a shite, man.
You think you'd realise when he voided his bowels?
Aye.
Get shite for Christmas.
When he wasn't there on Christmas Day.
Haha. That's why I was glad I didn't have a chimney. Santa always had to use the back door to empty his sack. It was happy Christmases all round.
On the Sabbath as well.
The Sabbath is Saturday, I found it.
What?
Apparently Saturday's the Sabbath.
I don't know, that sounds like some...
It does sound like shite, but no, apparently it's a Jewish thing.
Really?
Am I talking shite?
I don't know. I don't know much about Jewish stuff.
Someone told me that. I think it was Kyle.
The only Sabbath I know is Black Sabbath, and that's because fucking Mosher.
Oh, is that when you do the Sabbath?
No. As it left my mouth, I'm like, this is going to be another Black Up Dean joke, and I'm like, no, for legal reasons, this is not a thing. It's just something Alan's fucking made up.
Dean's never blacked up, but the Glasgow kid we used to do it every week.
The Gremlin Kid, that's going to be my next comedian identity. It's just going to be me running around doing like a character actor performance act, just laughing at the audience and then launching them out of the comedy club like how Mrs. Deagle does.
Oh. Me and Silas were walking on the other day past the Clyde and I did this really wet fart, and then when I got back I was the Glasgow Skid.
Oh Jesus.
That's not happened to me in a long time.
That joke was pretty Glasgow mid.
You know who I do like in this, actually? The lead character is actually relatively likeable.
Is that the wee guy with the same haircut as his ma?
Yeah.
They've got one barbers in that town.
Because it's just like balancing the horror of this with the sort of, oh, it's a story about a boy and his pet. It can be really hard to let those tones mesh, but they do it really well with this, and that's because the guy who plays him, I think Zach Galligan, I think his name is just very likable. Like, I think he would have made a good Clark Kent back in the 80s. My brother noted that when we were watching it last night. And fucking what's his face? The guy that I also really enjoyed, and I love these weird character actor kind of people, did a lot of Joe Dante's films. The guy who's obsessed with foreign cars being shite.
Oh, I am.
Everyone's uncle could have played that role, man. Just Tutton walking about complaining about, like, oh, it's just foreign, that's foreign, and all that. It was amazing.
Aye, but it does call back to, like, because I don't know if they confirm if he died or not, but when, like, the snowplow is going into what is obviously a set on a fucking back lot, and then it's just, it kind of plays on that whole Gremlins and the machinery kind of thing, which, into some research I did, found out was actually a World War II thing. I did not know it was a real thing. Apparently they thought, like, the reason planes were flying down was because there was little gremlins in the machinery just making them fail.
That's wild.
Huh. They believed a lot of crazy things back then.
Yeah, so if your phone stops working, we know who to blame.
Gremlins.
Yep.
Because all the porn on the memory.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
One keeps breaking into Dean's house and forcing him to wear makeup.
Dean dolled up a Glasgow wed.
Oh, I haven't actually worn makeup since I played The Wizard of Oz. I don't like wearing makeup because it feels weird. I think it must be like an autism thing. Like, I don't like weird textures on my face.
No, I'm with you on that, man. See, if I put like hand cream on, I can feel it for weeks.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Like same with putting on like moisturizer. You know that one that's like you're putting fucking sand on your face.
Oh, aye. See, if I got anywhere near that mad goo that they hatch out, man, I'd have been fucking out of that town.
See, if the autism team said you can't be autistic because you like weird textures on your face, I would have believed them.
Missed having you on as a co-host, buddy.
This podcast is brought to you by Jizz.
You know what? If there's actually a brand name out there called Jizz, but like with one Z,
There is.
There is?
No, it's got two Z's. Silas sent me it. It's called Jizz Fashion, and the caption was like, "Who are you wearing?" It's like, "Oh, I'm covered head to toe in jizz."
That's pretty. There's like a chocolate in Canada called Jobby or something like that.
Yeah, there is.
There was a recruitment agency in England called Mr. Jobby. It's a bunch of clothes places in Thailand as well, just got like fat fuck fashion. Very brutal.
I think you mentioned this outside actually, but see the scene where you're learning that the Gremlins are a little bit evil, and you almost don't know if it's them or Mrs. Deagle. But when the dog's like hung up by the Christmas lights,
Yeah.
How is she going to get in the house?
she would find a way. She's a little sneaky little devil.
The security guards, I think they bribed them, turned the cameras off. And then once they were, the dog. Might have tripped or something, I don't know.
Tripped and fell into some Christmas lights.
Oh.
Aye, poor wee dog, man. I mean, I've had to get Chalky a jumper now for when I walk him. So like, I was just watching that poor dog, thinking it needs a fucking Christmas jumper. If I had a Christmas jumper, it'd be all right.
You need to keep him away from small mythical Chinese bears.
I think I dated one of them.
Just keep him out of Ibrox then. Fantastic. Especially at Alan's gaff.
If you could have, like, would you like to have like your own wee gremlin?
I reckon I'd be able to handle it all right, but see, I'm very clumsy, so if I'm just like carrying a cup of coffee or something, or like a glass of water, I probably would accidentally spill it on it.
Well, he can't be as bad as, was his name Billy in this film?
Billy, yeah.
Because as soon as he gets him home, he's like, don't get him wet, and he sits him next to the fucking sink.
No.
Fud.
Yeah, and also the sink had a bright light next to it, and I was like, I get that you're doing this for movie lighting purposes, but you're going against your own rules there. Like, if they had just said sunlight, keep them out of that would have been fine, but it was any bright lights. So like when he gets a photo taken of him, he just goes into a complete fucking meltdown. And it's like,
and how much, like, see all the chicken that they had, the big plate of chicken? How much did they make that is the amount of leftovers they had?
I mean, it is the South in America. They do love their chicken. Although I was curious as to why it wasn't fried chicken. Like, it was just baked chicken wings, and that is disgusting. That is the whitest fucking dinner I have ever seen. They didn't look like they were seasoned at all, and like there was no side dishes with them or anything. Like, sorry.
Yeah, you'd be alright if you were a gremlin not eating after 12, man. You'd be like, no, there's not enough paprika in this. Get out of my face. What, you made this in the micro? Get out of my face.
Well, I've genuinely never heard of half the foods that you eat.
Ah, mate, it's insane. I'll just be talking to him at a gig, but what are you going up the road to do? Most people will be like, oh, grab a kebab, chips or something like that. Dean's going up to fucking blanch tomatoes at 2 a.m. to make a homemade salsa and all that.
What even is camembert?
Camembert's a French cheese, and I know you're referencing the thing I got at Blackfriars, aren't you?
Aye, the thing that had just a big fucking dollop of white stuff on it. My favourite. But what was that?
It was a garlic pizza thing, and then they said camembert garlic pizza, and I assumed they would cut the camembert up and dot it around the pizza.
Aye.
But they just stuck a big fucking massive camembert in the middle of it, and
were you supposed to just pick that up and eat it, or were you supposed to
just like mix it in? And I was sat next to Shona McNichol, who comes to a lot of those gigs, and like, that is too much cheese. She argues there can never be too much cheese.
Ugh.
You were needing his daddy, the wee guy for the film's daddy, to make you something to sort you out there, weren't you? Did anyone think when they would whistle the wee sound, like the wee tune at the start, it sounded a bit sectarian? I was like, where the fuck's this going, man?
Sectarian Gremlins is something I would like to see.
Set them on an orange walk.
Yeah. You know, they would probably love it. You know, they get right into the sashes and the flutes and everything. I can see Stripe leading it very confidently.
No.
Do you know, see the scene for the pub as well?
Aye.
They would be brilliant on a stag do then, wouldn't they?
I couldn't tell if one was genuinely like meant to be like a lady gremlin or if it was a drag queen gremlin.
I think it definitely was a drag gremlin because it was wearing Mrs. Deagle's clothes, wasn't it?
Was it?
Yeah, it had Mrs. Deagle's red wig after they'd killed her.
That's some Buffalo bullshit, that, man. Oh, wow. I was about to do the gremlin voice and try and, would you fuck me? But then I stopped myself.
It was like, how young were you when you watched this originally?
I don't remember.
Because Stripe gave me nightmares as a kid. That thing fucking scares me.
I think he's meant to symbolise cocaine.
Is that the
Stripe? And then the fact that he just goes into the pub and just starts smashing up shit and trying to hotwire cars and all that. I think they are honestly like a sort of group of like, it'd be like going out with people that were sober and then got them all simultaneous to relapse. I think that's the only way you could get close to that sort of level of destruction. And the woman working at the bar doesn't even cut them off. She's just pouring bevy and lighting snout and not even taking any money off.
It's Christmas in a small town. They need all the business they can get.
True.
Which I actually did find out. This set, I hope this isn't going to ruin one of your true and falses, but the set they used for this, did you have anything about the set on it?
I don't think so.
Okay, good. The set they used for this town, because the opening credits are very Americana, is the same set they used for Back to the Future.
Oh, I was going to use that one. I'm glad I didn't.
Yeah, because I think the films came out quite close together. I thought that was a really fun film fact, but then I remember Jack saying in a group chat that he's never seen Back to the Future, so it's completely lost on him.
I think I've seen like 20 minutes on ITV between ads and stuff like that, but in terms of what films I've seen, you'd think it was blasphemy, man. I've seen nothing.
Nah, it's alright, man. Like, it's just got me thinking, like, a time-traveling Gremlins movie would be fucking class. I'd love to see the Gremlins in, like, every historical period. Ancient Egypt, World War II, fucking Tudors time, the feudal Japan when that was all kicking off.
No way. Back in the day, they struggled accepting gay people. You were like, I crack on with the wee mythical Asian bears. Don't feed them. They'll go scatty if you do. I don't think they would have stood that chance. They would have been getting made to build pyramids and all that, or crushed up and put into medicine or something.
They just get like, I reckon it, oh fuck yeah, Gremlins would be slaves because just be cunts getting them wet, making more of them.
Aye. Or they would be eating them. They would do for like a food source if you could.
Roast gremlin would be the Christmas dinner.
Do you think
you would only roast a gremlin? I would smoke mine for 18 hours.
Actually give it a light poach and then crisp the skin up just to get it perfectly
seared.
Do you think the Gremlins would have helped or hindered Hitler?
Oh, helped. Pre eating before midnight, hindered. After that, helped. There is something fascist. There's elements of fascism to them as well. Mm-hmm. The way they're all sort of like uniformed and like.
Yeah. And they all seem to get the exact same clothes in very short spaces of time. Like for 1 second they're just wearing nothing, and then suddenly they're all wearing caroler outfits. I have to wonder, where did they get them? Because
there's a lot of organization in there, which adds to the anti-communist message because they're all very organized.
Yeah, and because I remember the original script was a lot darker. Like in that they implied that the cats of Mrs. Deagle were eaten by the gremlins. The death of the biology teacher is a lot more graphic. Like you see his face getting scratched out and shit, but they had to tone it down to keep it a PG-13 release.
Is that only a PG-13?
Yeah.
That's wild, man.
DVD here was a 15.
Yeah, back then they were, because I think PG-13 had only recently come into films at that time, because Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom was the first film to start the PG-13 thing, because it was too dark to be a kid's film, but also too kiddie to be R-rated. So they created something in between it. But even then, like, I think Jaws was a fucking 12 back when it was released, and the amount of blood and carnage in that.
Children were allowed to smoke back then. I was like, you can watch a mechanical shark maul people. Yeah. Cigarette, there you go.
We aren't going to have you on the Jaws episode, but see that story of you saying that why would anyone be... I'll let you say it because it's fucking hilarious.
I just got destroyed by my English teacher. Shout out Mr. Johnson. No, you'll be listening to this. And we were doing like some sort of like report thing on Jaws. We had to watch Jaws in the class and then write about it. And I'm like, I'm grilling him the full time. Like, he was like, oh, this was really scary when it came out. Like, there was people freaking out in the pictures and all that. They'd never really seen anything like this before. Bear in mind that we'd grew up with like fucking just banging on a DVD and seeing like mad shit CGI'd and stuff like that. So I was like, oh, it's a big fucking rubber shark and all that. And I was like, half it was filmed in a bath. How could you be scared? Like, proper just rinsing him for being scared of this when it came out. And then it took us a couple of lessons to get through it. I think like second time watching it through, like the second lesson watching it through, comes to the first bit where you see the shark and it like jumps into the boat. Have I got that right?
Yeah.
I just had to double check.
I'm watching it in my head right now.
I had to go to VAR there just to check. You are like a movie VAR. I remember one time being like, was that guy in Shawshank Redemption? You're like, no, don't be ridiculous. And I was like, I think he was. And then you just told me every film he'd been in ever. And I was like, I'm never doing that ever again to him. So sorry, I was in English. We're watching Jaws. The bit the shark comes, leaps out the boat, and I'm like zoned out when I'm watching it by this point. So I'm just sort of like half looking at the telly, half looking at the window kind of thing. So I just get like jump out my seat and get like a bit of a fright at like jumping on the screen. I kid you not, Mr. Johnson goes up, pauses the DVD and just slags fuck out me, laughing at it, full class laughing at me for about 10 minutes. He's like, I thought it wasn't scary and all that. He was ready for rewinding it and all that. He's like, it was a teacher's equivalent. I go, nah, you wee wank, man. They could never get away with doing that.
I'm just imagining like what would happen if Gremlins was the movie instead of Jaws. Like you have to watch that for an English report on like communism or some shit.
Yeah,
because I could imagine them doing that in like a mad English class.
Yeah, or in a mad Catholic school. Like, this is what happens when you have premarital sex. Wee funny balls fire at your back and you start mauling people.
I was top of my class for my English essay on communism. I got full marks.
Oh, fuck off, Alan.
I said, well done, Alan. You really looked at this from so many different angles.
Oh, for fuck's sake. You know how I said I missed you being a co-host? I take it back.
Regret.
See, what about the scene? How, like, see when he brings his dog into the bank?
Oh, yeah, that's hilarious.
And then, what's the woman's name?
Mrs. Deagle.
Yeah, Mrs. Deagle, and it like jumps over and bites her. This would have been a completely different movie if that was an XL bully that he had under the table. Could you imagine the pure Facebook outcry of people like, it's the owner's not the breed and stuff like that? And it wouldn't have been like just maybe the fucking mould out of bits, man.
I reckon that you could have turned the movie completely different then, because then the Barney would get taken away by like the dog police, whatever they're fucking called.
Dog the bounty hunter.
And then the Gremlins maybe have to go and like rescue the
social
dog
care
for like prison. Yeah, I know all about that. And it's like a prison break scenario, but then the Gremlins just realize, oh fucking, they hate the police, and that's what makes them go mad. That's my alternate Gremlins. Fuck yeah. And then just Barney is just ripping fuck out of Stripe by the end, because the death scene of Stripe is quite horrifying for what's meant to be a kid's film. Like full on melting, like not even like Wizard of Oz, Wicked Witch melting, like full on fucking.
Yeah, that's what happens to me when I go out into the sun.
You could be a gremlin.
I could, man.
Yeah, we could. You know what? If we ever get to the stage where we're making movies from this podcast, we'll just do a Gremlins fan film. You can play all of them.
You know my goal.
Yeah, live action or Willy.
Live action or Willy. Samuel Jackson's playing the bucket. That's my goal.
Eckies.
I've not read that, Willy. Please send me that one.
I had it with these motherfucking eckies, man.
Communist pawn. Our Willy.
All right, Alan, you've redeemed yourself.
He deliberately made like 15 dad jokes just to draw that one there. We lowered their expectations, just popped everyone.
Aye. Also, I find it funny that the Gremlins love Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. Because of course that film's getting remade now, and it's like they've not had
dwarves.
They don't have dwarfs in it. It's just magical creatures, and I think Sean summed it up perfectly when they were talking about it on the file list. It's gonna be Snow White and the Seven Short Kings.
Yeah, no, it'll be guys at 4'11", like just to listen to Andrew Tate and all that,
So
getting up and making their bed first thing because that's what they were told to do in a podcast.
So have you got a casting call for it yet?
No, not yet.
You're awfully short for a dwarf.
If you could add the Gremlins into one film to make it better, what would you add them into?
Ooh.
Boy in the striped pajama.
Well, you know what? The author of The Boy in the Striped Pajamas is a cunt, so I would happily say that.
I was saying that like when.
Yeah, that's the issue with that film.
Oh, yeah. Well, like, 'cause they had that scene where Gizmo was pretending to drive because he was watching like a driving movie, and I was like, "Fuck, I'm glad they didn't put on Schindler's List."
Fucking hell.
Gizmo's like, "Mimi." Well, there goes my notes.
There goes the quiz. False.
Oh, thank you, Dean.
Yeah, I'm very flexible now.
Looked me in the eyes when you said that. I don't know why.
Yeah, because I know Maya's watching this, so just gotta let you know, Maya, he's mine. I was his first gay friend.
Is that your girlfriend?
Yeah. I watched this with her last night.
With a brother?
No. Easy, Alan. I know, it was good, man. I forgot how good this film was, man. What was it? I knew you would know this. See the scene, and it's like all of the gremlins are like coming over a hill or something. It like pans out. What did they do for that?
I think it might be like a blue screen kind of thing, because that looks like a matte painting that they're in the back of.
It looked like claymation or something like that.
Yeah, it would have been something along that line. It could be stop motion animation as well. Like, I don't know. I haven't looked into the behind the scenes.
There was a bit that was definitely stop motion.
Because I remember seeing that and I was like, I could Google this, but Dean will just know it.
Infinite knowledge of movies in this little brain, man.
Aww.
Like, it's like my brain's like the TARDIS, but for like a film collection. You just open it up and there's like every film in existence.
Don't think you're allowed to use that word anymore.
Fucking hell. I was watching the new Doctor Who with my mum last night right before I was watching this, and it's very good for Doctor Who fans out there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was never really into it that much.
I would love to see you playing the Doctor.
What anniversary of the Doctor Who is it?
60th.
Oh, right. 'Cause I remember I took someone's virginity on the 50th because we went to see a Doctor Who special at the GFT. And I dropped my glasses 10 minutes into it, the 3D glasses, so I was just watching a bloody thing for the whole fucking movie. Aye.
You don't know which one's David Tennant or Matt Smith. They do look pretty similar, to be fair.
I don't know. Matt Smith looks like if you had something called up syndrome. Just like the man. The guy makes me
Thank you for giving me some clips for the Doctor Who specials, Alan.
You can't call them that
was
anymore.
a wrong word.
You can't call them that anymore.
Oh man, there's another scene in this I really love, but it's just like a small thing. See when the gremlins fall into the pool and it like turns into like fucking green lights and shit. That looks like what I imagine Sub Club is.
Yeah,
because I don't know much about the clubbing lifestyle. As you know, I'm quite awkward when it comes to nights out. But I don't know. You've had that. You've grown up around that, Jack. Is that what a sub club would be? I said a sub club as if like that's the name of it.
There's a serious lack of wee guys in like fucking New Balance and corduroys with like retro Panathinaikos tops on. If you had that, then but no, I've no been there when it's just turned into a sort of green mush mass. Maybe he's felt like that. But
Anytime
no.
Celtic win.
Yeah. They're just smashing up a pub.
Do you reckon the Gremlins, if they came to Scotland, would they be Celtic or Rangers fans?
I'm definitely not getting into this question because, unlike used to, I would quite like to sell tickets in this country.
I'm just gonna. Oh, fuck it. We'll meet in the middle and say they're Partick Thistle fans. I like that name for a football team because it sounds like a bush.
A bush.
A wee thistle. That's like something I'd have in my fucking bathroom, you know?
A Gremlin, former First Lady Laura Bush.
What?
I don't know. I was thinking about something. I forgot it.
True or false is Alan? Have we got them today?
No, because this is going to annoy me. Fine, fuck it. Okay.
Right.
So, I was wondering if we should do it. Should we say them all first, and then I'll tell you what's true and what's false? Or should we do each one?
Just do one and guess
just do
because I'll
each
lose
one, yeah.
track.
Yeah.
Mogwai means devil in Cantonese.
False.
I'm going to say true.
That one is true. And in Mandarin, the pronunciation is Mogwai. Not Mogwai. You can't speak Chinese when you've not got your voice. The filmmakers initially tried to cast monkeys, but the monkeys became panicked when they had to wear a gremlin head.
That sounds like something Joe Dante would do. I'm going to say true.
I would pay to see that. That would have been mental.
Well, you know, they say put a bunch of monkeys in a room and they will eventually write the human centipede. That one is true.
That's true. That's human centipede one's true.
That is, I remember you telling me that when we did the Human Centipede episode.
One of the studio notes to Dante and Spielberg was that there was too many gremlins. Spielberg sarcastically suggested cutting them all out and calling the film People.
That sounds like something Spielberg would say.
Was that no fair enough film? False.
No, that was true. With Drake, it was fake.
What other film would it have been? Like from Spielberg's other film, Jaw. The
I
shark only has one
thought
tooth.
Jaws didn't work and he was just going to take it out.
They did actually, I think for Jaws 3, they were going to call it Jaws 3 People Zero. And make it a spin.
Terrible. I love it. The old Chinese man was actually a white guy in makeup.
See, I thought that was true.
We figured this out last night. He is a Chinese American actor
Right.
Damn.
who sadly passed away now. But I say sad.
I mean, is it sad? Know that I hate old Chinese men, just that, like...
he was like 70 odd when this was made, and it was in the 80s. So yeah, he would be dead.
No one cares. So Dante had to fight for Gizmo to drive the pink Barbie car because another studio note was that it made Gizmo too effeminate, and they suggested that he should drive a tank instead.
You know what? It was 1984.
Yeah.
Maybe they couldn't be what they wanted. So I'm going to say true for
George
that.
Orwell, man.
Yeah.
Oh, false. Just
Yeah, that was false.
All right. I mean, if they make Gremlins now, I hope Gizmo's driving all the Barbie cars in the world. They can do a crossover with the Barbie movie from this year.
yeah, give him a fucking Fiat 500 for all that.
Come on, Gizmo, let's go party.
You know how you said, like, if you would put the Gremlins in any movie? I don't want to put them in a movie, but this will actually get me to watch it. I want to put the Gremlins in Eurovision.
I thought you were about to say Love Island.
They would. I know what they would do on Love Island with Eurovision. I want to know what happens when the Gremlins all come together and try and make their own song.
And what country would they represent, Dean? Just try to trip you up here. Oh, so that country's Gremlins, see you?
You know what country they represent? Fucking, I don't know, Canada.
Oh yeah, pull up the analytics of this podcast to see when no one's listening. Like North Macedonia.
Dean, are you a multi-country song competition? Because Eurovision.
Thanks, buddy. Don't leave me hanging. Oh man. That's just. I mean, we kind of said it at the beginning, but I'll mention it just for now. For favorite kills, I feel like it's between two here. Honestly, for me, it's between Stripe and Miss Deagle, because the guy, the biology teacher that gets killed in the plow death, is kind of like off screen a little bit. Yeah. Although, another fun thing what I did mention, and any of you Breaking Bad fans?
Aye,
not seen it.
One of the police officers, the deputy, is the guy who plays Mike in Breaking Bad.
Oh fuck!
Yeah.
Is that the guy for the start trying to buy the Christmas trees?
I think so, yeah.
Aye.
Also, the way Mrs. Deagle was talking to those kids when they were clearly starving and their parents were overworked, like, I think there's a difference between going and doing like a Scrooge-esque character and then making something completely cartoony. She's like, oh, now you know what to ask Santa for.
Yeah.
Like, is anyone that cruel? Granted, it is America in the 80s, quite possibly.
And she was ginger.
Yeah.
By choice. That's even worse.
Yeah. Jack, is she related to you?
No, we don't claim her. We're actually annoyed with her. She was ginger facing, so as soon as me or a member of the community get a hold of her, fucking.
She has the best death.
So best death. I'm actually, because I know you are probably going to say Mrs. Deagle. I'm going to say Stripe, just for like all the practical effects involved with it, and when the way the skeleton comes out is really cool.
Do you need to see the death for it to be? Because I'll go for a hipster answer and pick the dad that gets stuck in the chimney.
You know what? We'll take that. Fuck yeah. You know what? Just make a short film of Gremlins about the dad getting stuck in the chimney. Maybe the Gremlins are what did it.
Yeah, what's that film when there's like the guy stuck in the boulder and has to chop his arm off?
127 hours.
It's just like that.
Well, you can get James Franco to play him, get him the method act so he actually dies, the beast cunt.
Yeah, I
He turned out to be quite a creep, didn't he?
Yeah, he was like texting underage fans and stuff while he was in his 30s doing his fucking PhD. James Franco's a beast.
Yeah.
It does.
How is the PhD relevant to that?
Because
what was his PhD in?
I don't know.
What does the P stand for?
It just gave him access to people who were students, I guess.
Oh, gross.
Yeah. Fuck James Franco. Anyway,
James Franco,
what's your favourite death?
I would say, yeah, Miss Deagle, because I just love seeing the disabled suffer.
Thanks very much.
I like the gremlin that got stuck in the microwave and its head exploded.
Oh, that was pretty cool.
Yeah, I kind of liked how his mum was just a bit of a badass. Like, one gets blended, then within 2 minutes, she stabbed one to death and stuck one in a microwave. She's like the Ripley of the kitchen.
Mate, the mob is game as fuck, man. She was just going about chopping them down and like, we even breaking a sweat. She's definitely riddled with PTSD after that. And the thing is, like, how are you going to get treated for that? You would get locked up if you went into somewhere and you're like, oh, there was these wee sort of bears things. My husband bought them off an old Chinese guy and gave it to my son for Christmas, and then they started multiplying and attacked me and I had to stab one and kill it with a juice maker and all. I'd be like, right, fucking.
Yeah, it's a nice wee arc for the inventions, because the inventions are what kills all the gremlins in the kitchen.
Aye.
Are they?
Well, yeah, he throws them into one of the juicer things, and then it's spun around to one of the dough hook things, and then the microwave is probably not invented by the dad. But
No, they would. I know what you're saying. Like, they would have had about 15 more bedrooms in that house if the dad was working for Lockheed Martin.
I didn't even pick up on that. I missed the dough hook one. I thought it was a normal blender. I forgot it was the juicer. Well, no.
This is the first time we've all picked. Yeah, fucking idiot. It's the first time we've all picked different answers for the deaths. Paul, I'm going to go to you for this, actually. I take it you've seen Gremlins, yeah?
Please don't.
No.
Paul was on it last night. He's woke up feeling like a gremlin the day. No. He couldn't eat past midnight, but it was nothing to do with multiplying. It was just because he was rough.
All right. Well, I suppose that'll more or less wrap us up. So here's the best part of the podcast.
We've not scored it yet.
Oh, we're going to do that now.
Oh.
Yeah. How many big pumpkins are we going to give the first Gremlins?
Jack.
And will Peter Bell play a gremlin?
What's the highest we've had so far, just so I've got a gauge?
I think
4.5, I think.
4.5 throws for Scream, yeah.
Out of 5?
Yeah.
Right. 4.1 pumpkins.
I'm going to raise you and go 4.25 pumpkins. Because just for the... I don't like seeing dogs get hurt in movies, so it loses 0.75 points for me. For that.
Oh, I suppose it did get hurt because it got hung.
It is alive. I should just clarify.
It wasn't a real dog either. It was a guy. It was a monkey in a suit. He couldn't get them to play the Gremlins, but he fucking nailed it playing a dog.
But
I'll go with 4 big pumpkins.
4 big pumpkins. Yeah. So hard to please.
No fractions.
No fraction. You hate fractions.
Fractions.
Were you never good at maths as a kid?
No. There's not much to say that. I was always shite at math.
So am I. I fucking hate maths. Although this actually did help me with my multiplication. My times tables was really easy after watching this film as a kid.
What?
Multiply.
Fucking hell.
Just a little bit of whimsy after all of your boy in the striped pajamas jokes. Well, I think that'll more or less wrap us up. Jack, it's great having you on, man. Thanks so much for coming on.
Do you have anything to plug?
Jack T Comedy on Instagram. Come say hello. Thanks for having us on. This was class. Hopefully hopefully get me back on for
absolutely. Yeah.
I think we had an idea for, is it April?
Yeah.
I'll do the April one.
Yeah. I'll talk to you after we wrap up. And Alan, where can we find you?
Alan J Comedy on anything. And of course, we should plug that on the 17th of March, we have a show at the Glasgow International Comedy Festival called Scream Queens with the lovely Kyle Samuel at 4:45. Please come and see us. We want it to sell out.
Whereabouts is it?
Van Winkle West, and we have currently sold 5 tickets. I got to give credit to Alan. Your marketing ideas for selling tickets are class.
Have you been writing? You've been writing on cubicles, like hand drawing a QR code.
Oh man, I was in a toilet recently and then I saw that like there was a lot of like scratched and graffiti, and then I noticed on the door it said send feet pics. I was like, oh, that's hilarious, and I remember that I wrote it a year ago.
Who's just the number?
It wasn't a number, it was just send feet pics.
Oh right.
So, that's funny.
Yeah, come see that show there. Thanks you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.
Cheers.
We love you.